All right, guys, I hope you can hear me reasonably well. This is going to be kind of an unboxing video. I'll tell you the story. I went to community garage sales today, and I went to like 25, and I spent 75 cents on this broken Adidas watch. I figured if I bought a $3 battery for it and it works, I can probably get $20 out of the watch, or I can wear it. But going to 20 garage sales and finding a watch to make a couple of bucks, and I drove 35 minutes to get to those sales, I was discouraged. And the kids were being ridiculous, which led to my wife not feeling like it was worth continuing. So anyway, I was like, let me go down this side road. We'll hit a couple of rural sales out of this subdivision. It was a subdivision, 200 houses all together, narrow streets, and you had people parked on both sides of the street. It was a hot mess. Lots of traffic, lots of $10 a pair used shoes that were not worth $10, and just super pedestrian stuff. Nothing older, nothing 80s, 90s, nothing worth picking up. I was just ready to be done. Let's go down this country road. There's a handful down there. We'll see what's there. So we pulled off where there were 2 or 3 that we could walk to all of them. And the first one was kind of nothing. It was, a lot of it was Dollar General, like retail arbitrage for their garage sale, I guess. And then the next one, I found this box, and it had a shirt on the top of it that was evidence that there was probably good stuff in the box, worth going through. VHS tapes were marked 10 cents. This is the 80s Chipmunks show. Chipmunks, the Jetsons, Flintstones Christmas, Muppet Babies. They rebooted it for Disney Plus. Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Louie, Dewey, and Huey. They're not DuckTales, but it is those characters. More Rescue Rangers. I almost guarantee you my wife can sing one of the songs from this from her childhood. Casper. I'm not a big Casper fan, but I had 9 of them that I was getting, and I was like, well, I'll just grab this Casper one, make it an even dollar. Then more Chipmunks from the 80s and an official DuckTales one. So when you find VHS tapes that are like that, you're like, there's going to be some good stuff at this garage sale. Now, at the end of the sale, I was like, what about that box on the shelf? And it was this box, but it was sitting there like this. And so pretty clean side, obviously a really collectible piece. Powerhouse motorcycle by Marks. This is $300 or $400 if it's in the box. And I was like, would you mind emptying it out if I offered you $10 for the box? And she's like, no, that's fine. I'll have my husband come help me empty the stuff out. And then, good grief, I wish I would have bought it with contents because the Christmas decorations inside were fire. So she brought it down, and I walked back to the car with all of my stuff and came back, and she's like, oh, I don't know if you even want it. And she was right. I probably should have passed because this flap's duct taped on, and there's duct tape all the way around, and the back side's a little messed up, and it's missing the flap that should be here. So $10 on this box. Even if I set this thing on fire, I'm going to be all right on this garage sale. Even this find, because going back after I bought all of the stuff in this bag and the VHS tapes and took them back to the van, I came back for this box, and this was hanging for $1 on the rack. This is a blanket lined Carhartt jacket. It looks like maybe there was a collar and it's been removed, but it was $1 for blanket lined Carhartt. I don't know what that's worth, but I'll gladly pay the $11 for this jacket and this box. And I suspect if I break the box down, I can sell it. It'd cost me like $10 to ship this anywhere in the United States. And so I can probably get $35 shipped out of this box, and I won't lose money. And then I found this bag, and I was like, well, let's just put all of the hauls, all of the stuff that I bought into this bag. And if I'm being totally honest, this is almost an unboxing video because I was just so aggressive in just grabbing everything that I don't even know exactly everything that I got, but we shoved it all in this Rugrats bag that she sold me for 50 cents. This would be like if you got some kid a big Rugrats toy. 1998 for this bag. Now, one, it's been tied, but I'm pretty good at being able to get those kind of ties out. So let me see if I can do that. And I would sell this bag for probably $3 or $4 plus shipping, and I paid 50 cents, and it's a neat way to bring home my finds. So I'm gonna probably go all Ryan Roots, Rally Roots unboxing video on you. And it'll be similar because I kind of know what's in here, but I'll be excited when I see it. So the first thing that I saw was these pants. And I'm like, those are not home run pants, but they are like enough to say this box is worth looking in. Pants were 50 cents a piece, shirts were 25 cents a piece. So that's why I'm like, I'm just taking it all. I have 25 shirts and 6 pairs of pants. So I took 31 pieces out of probably what was like 45 or 50 pieces. So these super acid washed pants, I don't know anything about those, but at 50 cents, I'm certainly not leaving them there. And then some vintage Levi's. These are for sure USA. They're a YKK zipper before they started putting Levi on the zipper. Yeah, these are 85, and they are 505s, but they're tiny. They're like, they're 18 505s, 214, which makes them a student. I would suspect these are a 20, probably a 24 by maybe almost 30. 1985 Levi's for 50 cents. I'll go ahead and show the other pants that I got, because I didn't even hardly look at them. I'm like, oh, those are pants, I'm getting them. Stonewash Levi's. These say size 3 medium, made in the US. And they are, I don't know how to read this tag for a date. Now, 50 cents a piece, I'm not hurting on them. There's 2 sets of those, so I could lot those together. And then the other jeans, the other bottoms, clear down at the bottom. These I just saw like this, and then when I tried to flip them up, they had the tags on them still from a Venture. So I don't know. I was like, well, they're new with tag. They're obviously old because they're in here with everything else. I was on such a tear that I'm like, well, I will grab these and figure out what they are later. But then we found some shirts, and oh my goodness, can you say fire? Bum Equipment 1991. Obviously this is going to be a single stitch. It's a little boxy. Like, Bum was kind of this way, where it was like wide and short. This says it's a medium, but I have a quarter a piece into these shirts, and they get better. Policy, not a brand I'm familiar with, but that is a super 90s print. The next one is another super 90s. I didn't check the brand on it, but if it's a good brand, it's a really good shirt. Red Sky. You tell me, is that a pattern that the kids are wearing these days? That is definitely a vintage cool shirt. Throw it open over a 91 Nirvana t-shirt for sure. All right, I am not in the physical condition to wear tank tops, but if I were, this one's from some spot in Mexico, Cozumel. Not familiar. Not a home run. I paid a quarter. This one's a Razorback. No Limits Mega Muscle USA. Made in the USA. I feel like that's a pretty hot pattern. And I don't know if it's men's or women's, because do men wear Razorbacks? Racerbacks? Is it racer like someone who is racing, or is it razor like the Razorbacks from, is it Arkansas? Anyway, this one's a similar back, but it looks less feminine. Of course, if you got all those muscles in your back you've been working on, I guess you might as well show it off. Made in the USA, authentic sportswear, international. So that's just a generic activewear tank top from the 90s. This one is fire. This is a USA Nike tank top. This one, for sure. Look at that. Oklahoma Sooners. I doubt it has a year on it. And it's size extra large. If I was an Oklahoma Sooner, I'd be all about that one. This is like a coral colored t-shirt. Single stitch. No. Double stitch. Free fall. Made in China. So that's not even vintage. That I just paid $1 for a coral colored t-shirt that ain't gonna fit anybody in my house. Sweet. There's fire coming, people. I promise. So this is I mean, look at this. It speaks for itself. Isn't that freaking sweet? XL 46. And it has an RN number. So I guess I can find out if this shirt, based on that number, was a tank top. I think this one, I feel like probably it was. But then why did I feel like the other one wasn't? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm still excited about that. For 50 cents, hex to the yeah. What else do we have? Oh, this one. Just a real standard polo, but it's made in the US, so it's vintage polo, just the rider, single stitch. Just a good old shirt. Kind of some bread and butter. Nike swoosh. Made in the US. Whoo! She's gonna need OxiCleaned, per to good, but it's white, so I could bleach the crap out of it and it'll be good. USA Nike swish t-shirt, tank top. Okay, polo. USA, made in the USA. I'm almost certain. Yes, made in the USA. Polo. Rugby. With the green rider. Single stitch. I like that one. And then there was a pile of 11 t-shirts at the bottom, just kind of all smushed together. And I went through some of them. There's definitely a couple of pieces in here that are real good. And there are a couple of pieces in here that aren't super great. Health Knit, Powerhouse Gym USA. That's kind of just, I mean, that's going to appeal to a weightlift guy. And I've got a lot of these are weightlift. Pull your weight, Nike, USA XL. See, and that tag looks slightly different than the tank top ones because it just says XL and not 46, 48 or whatever. Single stitch, Nike, USA, double-sided, football. That's a good shirt. Jerseys tag. Oh, it has somebody's name. Tank on the back. Says 1986 football. I think that tank would be universal enough that if somebody wants this shirt, that isn't going to hurt it too much. This one's cool. World Gym, which if that's a competitor to Gold's Gym, I'm not familiar with it. Hanes Beefy Tee. And then it's like that back-sided, two sides on this. And that's a single stitch. Single stitch. Peoria High Lions Champions on a best 2XL. Seth, I'm looking at you. I know that you're not like all super central, but that's some cool vintage Peoria. And here's another one of the exact same thing. Banana Republic, single stitch, pocket tee, single X, made in the US, Banana Republic. This one I'm excited about. Universal Bodybuilding, Detroit, Michigan. Just a single stitch bodybuilder shirt. This one's an advertisement. I would say that whiter, which is a equipment, lifting equipment. Ultimate Body by Whiter USA single stitch on a JB's tag, but then it says Whiter Muscle, which is so it's kind of double branded tag. That's a cool shirt. So I need to find a bodybuilder. This one's strappy. Madison Avenue Muscle, Barrel Club, New York City. Made in the US. This is kind of a strappy. I don't even know what's the front and the back. I guess this is the front. Madison Avenue Muscle. And that's the back. That is definitely, I would say for sure this is a women's. But I mean, it would fit me. So if a guy with that many muscles wanted to wear a purple shirt, nobody's going to tell him not to. And these are fire. Chicago Bulls. Bart Simpson. I'm Air Bart. You can't stop me, dude. And unfortunately, I just found out since I've been home that this shirt's being reproduced by foreign companies, and the prices come way down on it. Actually, it's not like it's not licensed anyway. It says Spalding, Nike, Chicago Bulls. So this is a bootleg anyway, but they're still producing this bootleg, but probably not on this really sweet single stitch cotton made in the USA t-shirt. I wish these were on a better shirt, but they're not. They're just a super generic XL t-shirt. But there's two of those. So I paid like $25 for all of it. And now that I'm into it, the condition isn't fantastic, but I think at $0.25 a piece, even looking through it, the only one that I would have left those pink and red pants. I would have left that coral shirt that's made in China. And double stitch, but I think everything else I would have picked up, even without just grabbing a bag. So I got some work to do. Thanks for watching.